Hello and welcome. For this video, we are going to be talking about, well, the Epstein files, as you can see on the screen there. This has been a huge shadow looming over America, its politics, the wealthy, and even other nations internationally. This is a big deal. Whether you want to know about them or not, it's something that needs to be discussed. There have been others to discuss them, but what I want to do is kind of talk about how this ties in with the current political situation and everything. Now, if you have been living under a rock, trapped in ice, whatever, the Epstein files are files about Jeffrey Epstein and those who associated with him, because he and his associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, are well known for trafficking in youths for certain things. Yeah. I'm trying to be gentle here, because, usually I'm not, but we're trying to be a little more cautious, because I have a feeling YouTube will try to age gate this. Anyway, with that said here, it has been affecting the national discourse nationwide, because one of the biggest names in the files is Donald Trump. Here you have a list of people: Norway Princess Mette-Marit, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, Sarah Ferguson, was part of also the royal family, I believe, of England, Peter Mandelson, British Labour Party peer, Steve Tisch, film producer, businessman, executive vice president of the NFL Giants, Jay-Z, rapper, businessman, Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, an illegal alien, because he didn't enter the U.S. to do what he actually said on his the type of immigrations he entered the U.S. on. We've already mentioned Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, former president, Miroslav Lajak, Slovak politician, diplomat, Larry Summers. Really? Yeah. What if I try to have it pull up from over here? There we go. American economist, Secretary of Treasury, president of Harvard. Yeah. Peter Attia, author and former researcher on longevity medicine. Bill Gates, owner of Microsoft, or developer of Microsoft. Yeah. George J. Mitchell, politician, diplomat, lawyer, leading member of the Democratic Party, served as a U.S. state senator from Maine, Senate Majority Leader. So, just in this small list, we're seeing a lot of people. Sultan Ahmed. Let's try this. Maybe he'll show it to me right. Sultan Ahmed bin Suleiman from the United Arab Emirates as a businessman. Noam Chomsky. His work is great stuff. Public intellectual, professor, political activist. Deepak Chopra, Indian American author, guru, alternative medicine advocate, new age stuff. Joey Ito, Japanese entrepreneur and venture capitalist. Yeah. Actor Kevin Spacey. AI advocate and billionaire Peter Thiel. And journalist Michael Wolff. This is just a small sample. We've even got a more expansive list over here. There's Ehud Barak, former Prime Minister of Israel. Steve Bannon. Yeah, Woody Allen, the actor. You can see how many names are tied to this man and the actions he has performed. Leon Black, asset management CEO. I can't remember the name of the company he leads, but it's one of those asset management type of things. He was forced to step down as CEO after the backlash for it. There's Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem again. Todd Bowley. Who is the chairman of Chelsea Football Club, part owner of the Dodgers and Lakers. Leon Botstein, Bard College president. Richard Branson, billionaire, Virgin Group. Sergey Brin, co-founder of Google. David Brooks, New York Times columnist. William Burns, CIA director. I already talked about Chomsky and Chopra. George Church, Harvard geneticist for Harvard University. We talked about Clinton. Copperfield the magician. We talked about Gates. Andrew Farkas, real estate developer in New York. Joe Gibbs, former football coach, race team owner. Like I said, this is just into the H's we are just now. So huge list of high level people in several different areas, several different fields: education, politics, money, well connected. It doesn't mean they're all guilty of partaking in what Epstein is known for, but they all need to be investigated. It's something that must be direly done. It don't matter what political party. All I care about is they need to be held accountable, because it should be to help the American people. And they're just busy, la 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 la, we like to protect the rich and the powerful because we are the deep state, which Trump's a part of too. Anyone who thinks otherwise is poo. Anyway, yeah. And Trump, America should move on from Epstein. No. This needs to be seen to its finish. People need to be held accountable. The whole of the Epstein files should be released. Period. You can redact it to the American people, but Congress needs to be able to see. That's why I'm like, quit taking your time and trying to hide these files. Don't redact them from the people who are voted in, essentially hired to represent the people. Our representatives, our senators, they are representative of the American people. They are the ones we voted in, we hired, because they do get a paycheck, and they're supposed to do things for us, though they don't always, for some odd reason. Well, it's not really odd. You got these big money dealers, which is why they try to protect so many of the names in the files, unfortunately, because there's big money names who give them donations. But yeah. But, as I said, Trump wants America to go on, leave the Epstein files be. No, this needs to be seen through. We need to know who's guilty. If Gates is guilty of it, of partaking in certain things, Trump guilty of certain things, Clinton guilty of certain things, Bannon guilty of certain things, you should all be held accountable. This is not about party BS. It's about doing what's right to finally serve justice. It don't matter who they are. This has been clearly a divide that we can see clearly on how those who are wealthy and well-connected and powerful get treated compared to the average American. and there needs to be accountability. But yeah, Trump knows this is a bad look for him because he's mentioned so much in the Epstein files heavily, heavily, heavily. Even Epstein himself says Trump was my best friend for so many years. I don't know why I was trying to imitate Epstein. I know that was a horrible imitation. First, I tried to imitate Trump saying that Trump was his best friend. Which, honestly. Anyway, yeah. Because Trump knows this is dragging him down, among other things. Which is why he's looking to rig the elections. Republicans should take over the voting and nationalize U.S. elections. Which, that's a right enshrined in our Constitution that the states do it. They control how they vote. It's not a federal thing. But when have you ever cared about the Constitution? You set it alight, defecate upon it. Yeah. It's just amazing. Because, yeah, even as a point here, people should have seen this coming. He's done nothing but whine about the 2020 election, which he lost. That was voted twice, by the way. The first time he counted that he lost, they counted the second time, and it actually was more he lost by. But he can't let it go. And now the Epstein files, like I said, among other things, are dragging him to the ground in his approval ratings. Now, I'm not sure how much of this is true, but it is a true clip. That's what C-SPAN has produced. Because C-SPAN is not about left or right. It's about, hey, here's the information. You make the decision. But Trump says the election was rigged for him to win. Let's listen to this right quick.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's really amazing when you think of it. I've never heard that expressed. That's a lot. When we made this, it was made during my term, my first term, and it was so sad because I said, "Can you imagine? I'm not going to be president." And that's too bad. And then what happened is they rigged the election and I became president.
They rigged the election and I became president. So this is something he's not above doing. And we know for a fact that they went to try to seize the 2020 voter rolls in Georgia. I've got a couple of articles on this available, so y'all can look at it in your spare time. But he even sent Director of National Intelligence, someone who has no purpose of even doing this, to set up a call between Trump and FBI agents after they seized these rolls in Fulton County in Georgia. So yeah, we need... I'm honestly shocked. No, I'm not shocked. No. That there are still so many people who think he is the better choice astounds me. And clearly, the evidence is there, clear as a bell that's ringing on a cold morning in the church steeple. He is a liar, a con man. He's violated the Constitution at several levels, and he might well be a pedophile with all these mentions in the Epstein files being one of the most mentioned in it. That's why I am saying we need to see the release of these files through to the end. Like a bulldog with its favorite chew toy, it can't be let go. There needs to be accountability. Like I said, I don't care who it is, what party they are in, what position, how much power, how much money. No. If you are guilty of doing things to underage girls, to children, you should be held accountable. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end this episode there. I wanted to speak on the Epstein files a bit, because I felt like I've kind of just let it waft out there in the air without saying much. So, but as always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting these links and sources in the description box below the video. And when you ask them for sources, make sure they're good sources, not just some blog entry, not just some unknown site, unproven paper. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.